Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this ASUS TP501U. Alright, the full model number is TP501UQ-IH74T. Alright, we're going to be using a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver to remove all the screws from the bottom. You want to keep all the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So we got 4 here, 1 on either side here, and then we got 4 more at the bottom here. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove all these screws. If this video helps you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade or repair their device as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. And yeah. I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More. If you could subscribe to that one, it would be really helpful. Alright, let's go ahead and continue removing all these screws. This screw for some reason is stuck. Hopefully it's not a broken screw mount, because that's going to make it very difficult to remove. In some cases there might be some hidden screws under here, so let's check. Okay, also the screws for the bottom corner here where the screen opens, they're much shorter than the rest of the screws. The other ones all seem to be about the same. Alright, this rubber piece is being very difficult. Maybe it's not removable, is it? Okay, the rubber adhesive is coming out. And okay, it doesn't look like there's a removable screw there, so we'll leave that. Okay, let's go ahead and try and pop this open. So the cover comes apart from here. So we're going to go from this side. Oops. Okay, let me put that aside here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my fingernails in the gap, and then I'm going to push with my thumb on the back here. Obviously, you can use plastic pry tools, but I'm just going to use my fingernails because that's what I got on hand, and that's what works for me. Alright, so we're going to continue going around here. We already kind of got the front edge here popped a bit. We're going to go around the corners here and then continue working our way around. Alright. Alright, and let's go ahead and go to the other side now. Okay. Sorry, I'm continuing just working my way all around the edges here. Okay, it feels like it's popping out, but it also feels like it's still being held down by something. Huh. Right, so let's see here. Alright, I believe the customer said they spilled liquid on here and their main goal is just to get the data out. Okay, you can see how this popped out. And alright, I see what's going on here. So this cover has to come up because everything else is mounted in the bottom. So we're going to open up the laptop here and we're going to kind of carefully wiggle this. Again, one of the screws are stuck, so I don't know. Oh, actually, it came out all the way. Okay, so now that we got that, we're going to flip it this way. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this, but here you go. Okay, so the cables are going to be hard to... it's going to be hard to show this, but we have to flip these latches. I'll kind of just explain it after I do it. So I'm going to flip the latches here. Okay, so there's 2 little latches. So one for the bigger cable and one for the shorter one. I flipped them up and now we just got to pull those cables out. Okay, so there we go. Alright, so these latches, let me actually zoom in for you, but let me get a thumbnail real quick. Okay. Alright, so let's zoom in. Okay, so there's these little latches. So you flip this up and then you can pull the cable out. Same thing with the little cable here. There's this little latch. You flip that up and then you can pull the cable out. Alright, I'm not going to really do too much with this because the main goal is to just get the hard drive out and then see if I can get the data. You got the other little flip latch here for the touchpad, trackpad. Keyboard is held in place with melted plastic, as you can see. Right, all those little gray dots are melted plastic. touchpad is held in with 3 screws here. Okay, let me zoom out again, sorry. Okay, so touchpad has 3 screws, so if you wanted to remove that, it looks like you could probably take that out. All right, we'll set that aside. LCD LVDS connector is right here. Okay, it looks like you got probably some RAM here. This looks like it might be SSD memory, and then this is most likely RAM. I could be wrong. Usually I don't mess with that stuff. It's soldered to the board, so we don't really do anything with it. And then you got one cable here running to all the I/O ports here. You got a USB, the volume buttons, the power button, and the SD card slot here. Okay, you got one speaker here, connectors right there. If you want to remove this, usually I kind of grab the connector or the wire as close as I can, and then you kind of just wiggle it as you pull, but I'm going to leave that as is because that's not something we're trying to replace. Got the wireless antenna here for one side, and then another wireless antenna over here. Obviously you got the wires, excuse me, going along and then connecting to the wireless card here. If you want to remove the antennas, you go from the tail, and then from the tail end you just pull it up. All right, just like these. All right, there you go, it disconnected. And if you put it back, you just line it up, and then you'll know it's latched in because if you move it around, it will kind of catch in place. This is kind of a little tricky because it's following a bend here, but you can see now it's kind of caught in, and then you just click it down. All right, anyways, here is the hard drive. Looks like there's 2 screws holding it in place, so let's go ahead and undo those 2 screws. Again, I'm just going to be removing the hard drive so that I can pull the data out for them, but I'm not going to be, what do you call, I'm not going to, oh, actually there's 4 screws holding this in place. Actually another 5. Okay, so 5 screws holding this whole hard drive into place with the caddy. Okay, so we're going to remove all of those, and then that's pretty much all we're going to do with this. Alright, so once we get those screws out, we can slide the whole thing over, as you can see, and then we can lift this out. There are 4 screws holding this little caddy onto the hard drive. We're going to remove that. Their hard drive doesn't seem to have any liquid on it, so we should be good in terms of getting their data. Okay. Alright. I wonder what happened with that screw that, oh, I see. Okay, the screw that's stuck, yeah, the screw mount is permanently stuck there. So actually, what is this? There you can see the, oops, sorry, there's this, I'll show you later. Anyways, let's go ahead and pop the hard drive out of this little caddy, and we'll set this aside. We can actually just leave this caddy in here, so we can go ahead and put the screws back in. Alright. Did I put it upside down? Okay. Alright, so this goes back in here. Okay, let me go ahead and put these screws back in. Okay. Alright, and this hard drive is just a 2.5-inch SATA SATA hard drive. So you can use like a little 2.5-inch SATA hard drive enclosure if you want to read the data outside of the computer. Or you can even get like a little adapter if you don't want to do like a more permanent solution to make it an external drive. Alright, and then there's obviously another speaker connected right here. Okay, and what else? I think there's only one more thing. You got the battery connection here. This battery seems a little bit weird to get out. I don't know if there's a trick to it. Okay, I think you have to lift this up slightly. Okay, and then it pops out. Yeah, okay. So this one kind of goes in. Let me see if I can show you. That's the way this battery works. It kind of goes at an angle. The front end goes in first, and then you click down the back, all right? And again, if you want to take it back out, you lift up. Oh, sorry, that was too fast. So you lift up the back portion so it gets out from these little square latches, and then you can go ahead and pull the thing out, all right? So very simple, disconnecting the battery. The fan, if you need to remove it, connector is underneath the motherboard, so it's not going to be easy. All right, so keep that in mind. And then I think I didn't show the screw mount that's broken here. So you see this screw mount is just broken. That's why it was just hanging. And this other one, that one, the little screw, the thing that the screw goes into is just stuck there. So yeah, the screw mounts for the back pretty much are broken, so that's garbage. Anyways, not really much else to look at here. There is another cable going into the motherboard over here, and that's underneath this. So if you flip this latch, you can go ahead and pull this cable out. But here you can see, all right, it's taped in and held in there. I believe this is for the touch screen. It might also be for the cameras. I'm pretty sure this one's LCD LVDS. I could be wrong, but yeah. All right, so not really much else to it. Make sure this flip latches up if you're going to put these cables back in, and then go ahead and slide that latch down. Obviously, if you're going to be putting this back together, I don't think I'll be able to show this because of the way that I have to hold the screen or the part over like this. But basically, we're going to do the reverse. The latches are up. You're probably just going to see the top of the thing right now. So I need to make sure those latches on that are up. And then I'm going to get the keyboard and stuff back in. Okay? So not really much else to it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. Again, if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, again, if you can't, alright, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well. Again, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. Other than that, we're going to just pop all of this back together. Very simple, straightforward. Close that back up, and we'll get all those screws back in. All right, again, hopefully it helped. And if it saved you a bunch of money, it would help a lot. Again, if you could watch a few of my other videos, like and comment, or contribute to the channel. And yeah, if you can't do any of that, I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More, and it'll be greatly appreciated if you can watch a few of those videos and then like, comment, and subscribe to that channel as well. All right. Anyways, I'm going to leave these, well, that corner one out because that plastic was just broken off. It's not really doing anything. And we're going to put the rest of the screws, and that's pretty much it. All right, you're welcome to stay as I finish with this. But yeah. All right. Last few screws. Last one. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's drop this. Bye. Alright, so it turns out there might be an SSD under here, so let's go ahead and continue taking this thing apart. So again, let's flip this latch up. Okay, we'll remove this. Oh, let's also disconnect the battery. Okay, so lift that up, unclick it, there we go. Alright, we're going to have to disconnect all these LCD LVDS connectors. Before I do that, I'm going to actually press and hold the power button here for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. Not really necessary since the computer's already toast, but might as well just do it just for the sake of doing it, because this is what you need to do if you're going to be messing with the LCD LVDS connector. Alright, so there we go. Next, we're going to disconnect this. So let me see if I can zoom in for you guys. the way I remove these connectors is usually they have this pull tab, but it's not strong enough, so I like to get underneath with my fingernail and then just pop it up like that at an edge, and you can see how easily that came out. Alright, we also obviously have the other cable here, so we're going to have to peel this up first. Okay, so peel that out. Most likely there's adhesive under here as well, so we're going to go ahead and wiggle and pull this up. Alright, and there we go. We got that connector out as well. Okay, let's go ahead and zoom back out so we can see all the screws that we're going to have to remove here. I guess we can zoom kind of in. We don't need to be that far zoomed out. Alright, we're going to disconnect or undo the fan screws. I hope there's an SSD under here, because if there's not, then the customer is going to lose all their data. Again, I can't tell, but this looks kind of like SSD memory, and then this looks more like RAM memory. I think I said it wrong the first time. I think I switched them around. But yeah, usually RAM memory is like this rectangular thing, but I don't know, it's not always the case. All right, so anyways, we're gonna go ahead and continue removing all these screws. All right, let's go ahead and remove the wireless card as well here. All right. Okay, when I quoted the customer, I wasn't expecting to have to dig this far into the computer to get the storage out, so I don't know, I'm gonna have to send them a new quote, but I don't know, I'm not gonna really hold them to it because it was unexpected and I didn't wait to do this. I was like, well, let me just check because I want to check for myself. Alright, so we're gonna continue removing these screws. They do have arrows pointing at these screws, so I think these double arrow ones are silver screws, and then the one where it's like a single arrow is like a black screw. Okay, so in case you're wondering, hopefully that will help. Okay, here you can see another black screw. They put a single arrow. Yeah, so the single arrows, it looks like they put black screws there, and then the double arrows are silver screws. Okay, so hopefully that's all of them. This one black screw here is much longer than the rest, and they actually say M2L6, right? So the L is the length. So this M2L6, and then this, does it even say? The other screws don't even say their length. So yeah, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and try and lift this up. So I'm carefully lifting here. We're gonna kind of lift at the heatsink area here. Okay, it looks like the foam was kind of holding it down. So we're gonna carefully lift this. It looks like this whole hard drive thing, oops, let me zoom out here. Didn't need to zoom out that much. Okay, actually, yeah, I did. Alright, so it looks like the whole SATA hard drive thing might come up with the motherboard. Yep, okay. And we do need to disconnect this one speaker. So I'm going to try and grab that connector and wiggle it as I pull, and there you go. Alright, so let's go ahead now and lift this whole thing out. Alright, I'm pretty sure, yeah, oh, there's one screw there, so you can't just pull it out. And yes, there is an M.2 SSD here. There's also RAM here. So there's one stick of removable RAM. It feels like there's actually some RAM under here, so they do have integrated RAM on this motherboard. If I were to peel this out, you can see how this looks. So it's not the longer type, so it's not as square as this, but now I'm wondering, so this is definitely RAM under here. I'm wondering what this might actually also be RAM. So there's RAM here, RAM under here, and then this looks like maybe integrated SSD. Interesting. Anyways, there's this one stick of RAM here, and this is a 8 gig PC42133P. I know somebody's gonna say, why are you touching the pins? Okay, anyways, this is a PC42133P. I'm gonna actually just leave that out because there's no point putting it back since the board on this thing is toast. Alright, maybe I should actually try like brushing some of the stuff and see if it will somehow revive. But yeah, I don't know. Doesn't look like chances are good. There's like some green burnt up crusty stuff here. Sometimes people might be lucky, but we'll see. Alright. The customer told me, like, don't even, like, worry about fixing it. They just wanted the data. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just doing it just to do it. Alright, anyways, there's an M.2 SSD here. I'm pretty sure it's an M.2 PCIe NVMe, but let's go ahead and pop it out. I'm going to have to see if their data is survivable. Actually, it might be an M.2 SATA SSD, not a PCIe NVMe. And if you're wondering how I knew there was an SSD under there, I went on eBay and then I looked for the laptop model and I was searching for the motherboards, and then I saw a picture of the CPU without the heatsink on it, and I was like, wait, I can't see the CPU from this side, so that means the bottom has the SSD. I saw like the slot with no SSD, but I saw this, it said SSD right there, okay, and I also saw the RAM without this on it. Also, it looks like there's more SSD memory here as well, which is scaring me, because if that's the case, I don't know, I hope the data is going to be recoverable from here. Okay, anyways, if you're planning to put this thing back together, obviously you just put everything back the way you took it out. So this would go in here, and I'm gonna just put it back together, see if it even powers on, although it probably won't. I don't have the charger for this one, because the customer figured I'm just getting their data for them. So I don't have the charger to be able to really test it. But we'll see. If there's some battery life, maybe it will turn on. Okay, so we're just gonna get all of this lined back up, drop that back down, get this lined up. Oh, I'm gonna have to go for a little bit. Give me a second, I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Let's go ahead and continue getting all this back together. Okay, so we'll click that in. We are going to go ahead and put back all the screws. Okay, so we had one screw here. Okay, make sure that's all pushed down. There you go. Put the longest screw there. We're going to reattach the speaker. And I'm going to leave the SSD and stuff out unless the computer boots up for some miracle. I don't know. We'll see. I actually didn't try powering it up before I even did all of this. Although the customer told me it wasn't turning on. So anyways, and then we'll get the other short screw here. Oh, there is one other long black screw, and it goes into the fan here, so if you're wondering. Okay, we got the two silver screws. This one here, this one here. Okay, we got the other two black screws. One here, and one here. Alright. Then we got the two shorter black screws. We got one down here. Hopefully I didn't trap any cables under there. I think we are good. One here. Okay. Then we got the two fan screws. The short one here. And the longer one here. Go. Alright, let's move this back a little. We're going to get the wireless card back in. So the wireless card goes in slightly at an angle, like this. Okay, push that in, wiggle it, lower it down. Double check, make sure it's in all the way, and then get that screw in. Perfect. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get this cable in. So, again, this one can be a little bit tricky. Usually the wireless antennas are a little tricky. You have to just line it up. I'm going to pull up the extra slack so I have more room to wiggle this around. Alright, so you line it up, and the way you know it's on is it will kind of like hook on and it will hold itself there. Okay, and then once you get that, you can go ahead and click it down. There we go. Okay, all these extra wires, I'm gonna have to try and route it back in. It doesn't have to go the exact same spots, but want to make sure if you're gonna put the cover on top, it's not gonna smash anything. So, all right, same thing with the white antenna. Just get everything lined up here. Okay, we do have to kind of curve it out this way, so do that. It's hooked on, and then click it down. There we go. All right, and we'll just push the excess. Oops, sorry, can't even see. Push the excess down in there. Okay, so now that we got all of that, let's go ahead. Oh, I didn't need to zoom out because we still have to get these cables in. So let's go ahead and get these. Obviously, just line it back up. Okay, there's actually no adhesive underneath. It's all in this little piece. So just get this all lined up. And then I like to use my fingernails on the edge to pull the corners of the connector in, just like that. Okay, make sure it's in all the way. And then use the thing to stick it back down. Then we also got this cable. Okay, this one looks, oh, okay. I think I see why their computer's dead. So the power buttons are built into this I/O board, but if you look at this cable, liquid damaged that. So that's what got mainly damaged. So this thing is heavily corroded, and I'm pretty sure this connector here is probably all messed up as well. But anyways, we'll just reconnect this. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's not gonna work. I mean, I did clean the connector, but I don't think that's gonna do anything. Okay, so we'll push that back in, and then slide my finger over to latch it down. Okay, I'm gonna put the battery connector back on. Alright, and I mean, it had all that liquid in there, so I doubt anything's gonna happen if I push the power button. Yeah, see, nothing's gonna happen because it's completely toast. Alright, oh, you can't see because I'm zoomed in so far. Pushing the power button, but obviously nothing's happening, no fan movement, nothing. Okay, I can open the, or close the laptop a bit more since I flipped it all the way backwards. And yeah, nothing's happening. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and put back the keyboard. You already saw how to do that, so there's no point watching further, or I already recorded that portion. I'm wondering how I'm going to stitch this whole video together. I guess if you stay to watch the whole thing, then you get to see the whole thing. It's a lot of work to kind of edit stuff together, so I'm not going to chop it up and do that. I'm just going to go ahead and reassemble this. So yeah, here, if you already saw this, you're welcome to stay and watch it again if you want, but that's pretty much it. Oh, let me put the little metal bracket in there, even though it's not really needed for anything since it's not working, since it's toast. But yeah, might as well, why not? Alright, again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living, right? And if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well. I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More. Again, if you can subscribe to that channel, I need to get that to 1,000 subscribers, and yeah, it would help a lot if you could subscribe. Right, anyways, we're just going to get these connectors back in and the screws, and that's pretty much it again. So, alright, let's get this all back in. This design is so annoying. I don't know whose idea it was to make it like this, but super annoying. And I know, now you're just staring at this keyboard, but it is what it is, okay? So anyways, there we go. Everything back together, click everything back down, and we're just gonna get the screws back in again. You probably already saw this, so yeah. Again, hopefully this video helped, and you're welcome to stay as I put all the screws back in again, but that's pretty much it. Alright, get all this back in. Sorry I didn't really show how to take the battery out, but if you were to buy the replacement battery, you can probably easily see how the screws hold it into place, and you just pop it all back out. All right. Okay, last few screws. Last screw, and that's pretty much it. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.